All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Kaguya-sama, Love is War, Season 2, Episode 4. Ooh, that rhymed.
That rhymed.
Yeah.
Oh,
God,
boy.
we're brothers. All right, so
we've been doing this for a long time.
We had a timeline established.
We did
within
indeed.
within the past episode.
Yes.
We now know that time actually passes in this universe.
Yeah.
This is a joke, sarcasm,
Right.
That it actually has consequences like they're going to go into an election here with them not necessarily being in the same roles, or I mean they probably could be, but like things change and
Yeah, and also Shirogane.
Yes.
Oh my. Oh my.
Yes.
You were quite forward right there. Of course, not thinking at all about how it could potentially be taken by someone who definitely doesn't have a big crush on you and you them. Yeah.
I just love that he did it and he wasn't at all thinking of it as like a scheme or anything.
Oh yeah.
It made it so endearing.
Yep.
And
it's progress. It's progress.
It's wonderful.
They're getting closer.
Getting so much closer.
There might be an asymptote named Chica in the middle, but
yeah.
hopefully not. Or they can just get rid of it. Yeah.
No, we never get rid of Chica. No, of course not.
Maybe.
I mean, how do you get rid of an eldritch god anyway? Like, just
with much
don't.
difficulty.
Yeah. You lose a semblance of sanity though, trying to do that.
That is a definite possibility. Yeah. But
so
here we are.
And let's see if the squad can pull off a scheme like this. Like get this whole re-election thing done well, but maybe together. Like, as a team?
Yeah, the two biggest brains actually working in unison towards a common goal.
Ishigami?
What?
And Ishigami's other self that he keeps locked away because it's scared of Kaguya?
Yeah, well, that's a good point. Will we get to see Chika be in a position where she's forced to put up with Ishigami for a longer period of time? Not just out of desperation.
Basaka.
That would be really something.
So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into it. All right, everyone, and be sure to go check out the reaction portion of the video in the description below, and then come back here for the discussion.
Wow.
Yeah, this show is this show is incredible.
This show is unreal.
This show is actually like one of the best shows we're watching right now. It's really, really good.
So I'm sure that this is one because the source material is amazing, especially during this segment, right?
Yes.
But I also feel like this is an example where basically something was shown to be promising, right? Both with probably the source material and with the actual anime. And then basically suddenly it's all right, this is shown to be promising. Let's do this. Like flawless. Let's make it amazing. Let's make it as good as we can possibly make it. And probably a lot of people with money behind it that know what they're doing, where they're like, all right, this is all going to be this is going to be like the anime of the year and recent time.
Or of the season, at least.
Oh, man.
So okay, we get in this episode some good continuity with regards to Kaguya having this bit where she did kind of do what she assumed to be a confession of sorts.
Right.
Where she's like, I want you as president. I want you as the student president. And she's all panicking about her thing saying it. And then she says some really unkind things in reaction to Hayasaka trying to be helpful, but also Hayasaka kind of giving her some tough love and being like, it's amazing that nothing has happened yet. Like, if you wanted to, you could make this happen. But then Kaguya throws down the gauntlet.
Right.
And is like, do it. And I love that Hayasaka, when this was all over, was actually like emotionally distraught about the thing of, you made me do this, even though I said nothing about wanting to do this. Or not even that, like, I said anything about, like, what she assumed there. So this led to a situation where Hayasaka was like, I could have done this if I had more time.
Right.
But you just basically, ordered me around like this because, yes, I am your... what is it? Servant?
Basically.
Yeah.
And it's something where even though Shirogane wasn't wanting to date her after just meeting her that day,
right,
it was something where Hayasaka was able to expertly
bring out
and show to Kaguya that she was able to build an incredible amount of rapport with Shirogane quite quickly in just the course of the day, from him not even knowing she existed. Like, I feel like there's a difference when it's like it's a person that you have seen, say, around school or something like that.
Well, no, he has seen her before. He knows that it's Kaguya's maid.
Oh, that's
like,
right.
He knows who she is.
Yeah, no, that is a great point. That is a great point.
It's not a complete stranger.
Right, not a complete stranger. That did help.
Yes.
But the idea that within 24 hours, like that's
right.
And the thing is that so Kaguya, why aren't you doing anything?
Because she's nervous and she doesn't want things to go a specific way. She wants it to go her way, which is that's her choice. She's just gonna have to live with that. And hey, that's the thing. It's not like Miyuki is doing it any differently. Like,
it's very
he's
true.
Specifically wanting to go that way as well. And he came into a situation this episode where he could have gone this way, and I'm glad he didn't confess under those circumstances. He did connive his way or scheme his way out of the situation,
but in a good way, because
it was a good way. Yes.
Like the fact that he whispered it to Kaguya, I think was really good, because he's saying, "Hey, I wasn't wanting to make a big scene. I was just wanting to ask, you know, if you would be the if you would do my campaign speech and all that stuff." But one, because then it's something where it's saying it was still because I think highly of you, right? And two, I know what is essentially on the table right now. And it's being sensitive about the fact that it's not that, and maybe she definitely wanted it to be that. Right?
Yeah.
You know?
But he doesn't push her into a situation where she has to respond in a specific way.
Right.
So she gets all the power to respond in a way that, you know, he kind of he gave up the power by giving her the opportunity to respond in any way, in the same way that he could have started the conversation anyway. So I love that we set this all up under the context of this bit where Kaguya doesn't necessarily appreciate how much Hayasaka is just a wonderful person for her and to her. But then also how much she hasn't necessarily appreciated the time that she gets with Shirogane. Miyuki. So she's going to handle that a little bit better. Then we end up in this situation where we're focusing on the election here, and we also show that Miyuki doesn't necessarily appreciate Chika as much as maybe he should. Even though, Chika is an eldritch god of chaos, there is a lot of value to her helping with a lot of specific things. She is a very gregarious person. She is a socialite. She knows how to interact with people in a way that you do not, Miyuki. So when, you know, Chika gets all this praise, it is because of legit achievements and because Chika is relatively fun to be around. Now, granted, for the most part.
Granted, you know, it might also be because Chika is highly narcissistic and the like, but you know, but she still did do some pretty awesome stuff and hasn't gotten a lot of compliments lately.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so
yeah, exactly. I loved the fact that this skit was framed with Kaguya out of it, because that's a very rare thing for the show. So it gave Ishigami a role to play here that was very fun. Seeing him just tearing apart the idea of the student council elections being just, you know, popularity PR just stunts. Just to garner a few like lazy votes, you know, and it's like, Ishigami just spitting truth. Absolutely. And then we see this young idealist coming into this with, I would say, a pretty good message for the most part. But then when we get into the details of it, she's not gonna win. There's no way she's going to win. She won't garner any more votes, basically. And she gets her 30% or what have you, but that's about it.
And it will probably be a good thing that she doesn't win. But but she does have a lot to bring to the table.
She does.
And if, you know, given that she was in the opening, there is definitely a place for her potentially on the student council in this new in this new year.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's exciting to think about a world where we don't have to have the election go with everyone getting the exact same roles they had before.
Right.
Now, I think that could be just what ends up happening. But what if Ino gets brought in, maybe?
Sure.
What if Ino, basically, they create a new role specifically for Ino?
Right.
Or they dispense the specific functions of a role into two people.
One of the things that, I'm very much thinking that's going to happen, and that could be really cool because Shirogane has talked about, and Kaguya has noticed this too, the demands of being class president are ridiculous. Or not class president, sorry, student council president.
Student council president.
Right. That's kind of insane.
Right.
So if she comes in here and is able to also be on the student council, maybe then she can do a lot of the other work that is very important that needs to get done that Shirogane had been kind of doing himself.
Right.
Because while I'm sure that Chika did have something that she did, I don't remember what it was, and I don't know if Chika does either. And Ishigami, he does his thing, but
sure.
But he probably doesn't help out with much of anything else.
I love how it's something where we just are like, whatever they did, it's cool.
You're right.
But what if, because she's kind of the lawful stupid,
Yes. Yep, absolutely.
What if what it is that she gets brought in and she does kind of the typical lawful stupid kind of things and ends up being kind of a fun shtick in the comedy wheel of this story with some other character being kind of their foil. So would you see it as being like Ishigami's foil? Like Ishigami like getting elevated a little bit to having a... Because that keeps Chika from being paired off with no one so that she can still kind of bounce around and...
I feel like on a personal level... She's a foil for Ishigami, because them having the previous history and all that stuff and whatnot, and she's the earnest, person that works hard, whereas he's the slacker,
Right.
Efficiency. Expert.
Ishigami is true neutral.
Right.
Yeah.
And then also she could be a good antithesis to Kaguya, not Kaguya, Chika. Even if she knows how to get along well with Chika because she respects Chika a lot, but because she might even have a crush on Chika. But as far as their personality types, they are polar opposites.
Very much
right?
So
I
chaotic
think,
evil and lawful stupid.
Yep, exactly. So and I feel like this might be a pattern because with Chika, she was originally the chaos factor, right? And then after a while, we got Ishigami, and that worked really well.
Well, then, she's still the chaos factor.
She totally still is.
Because Ishigami doesn't care.
Right. What I mean is she was the variable in the status quo that was Shirogane and Kaguya, right?
Totally.
But then she's there, and then Ishigami gets brought in to sort of, keep things fresh, in case, I could totally see it being something where it's like, we don't want our readers to think that it'll end up getting stale, even though we're still doing a really good job of making sure it doesn't. Yeah. But just in case, we'll throw in another character in order to keep things dynamic, right? And here we have a fifth character here, and 5 is a good number, I feel like, for a core cast of characters.
Yeah, I definitely feel like we had 5 characters up until
Hayasaka?
now. Well, you can kind of take Hayasaka, Kei, and round them up into one character.
Sure.
Because they each kind of they're mirrors of each other.
Right.
They're the assistants to the main 2 characters.
For them to talk about how they're doing in privacy, essentially, where they can be a bit more vulnerable.
Yeah, and Hayasaka was way more of that than Kei was, but Kei existed so that if anything like that did happen, she would at the very least have commentary on it.
Right, because since Shirogane is...
closed off?
Yes, well, just not as what's the word?
Vulnerable in an emotional way.
Yeah, just because
Kaguya is a processor.
Yeah, Kaguya is a bit of an emotional mess.
Right.
Shirogane is a mess in a different kind of way.
Shirogane is a mess in that he is a very scheduled to the brink mess.
Right, and he needs a bit more
looseness.
Yeah.
Lighten up, buddy. Just
a little
and
that's
bit.
Again where maybe this new character coming in can help with that if she does some of the other duties that he had been doing up till now.
So he recoils from the she's so uptight that I have to kind of separate myself from that type of uptightness.
Well, sure, but also just that then if they could use that as a reasoning, as an impetus for him to kind of relax a little bit because he's like, okay. I can have a bit more fun. I can do things that aren't just being the student council president.
Totally.
But
this show has so many little details and things that they're doing just for fun. I loved seeing when I was scrolling back through the episode that there's actually entire parts that were just in Japanese.
Yep.
But then when I went and played the episode, realized that all those parts that were in English on the side are all actually subtitles. They're all specifically built into the track of the subs
and placed where like they should be for the display of everything, rather than just being a bunch of simultaneous subtitles that are at the bottom and you have to sort them out in real time.
Yeah. The skit though, with the two of them approaching in the middle with the confession and then the stairs, creating this the stairs STARES, creating this atmosphere, this aura, if you will. It felt like a JoJo's stand battle showdown. It's like, can you imagine basically
you're approaching me.
Shirogane just being like, oh, you're approaching me, and points, and then Star Chica jumps out and just you know, and then
everyone's like, he can't confess to the shit to her, you know, shit out of without getting closer. Right.
And then Kaguya kawaii koto kawaii worldo, you know, and then the whole thing stops time, and just
meanwhile Chica's like, I can't believe you're choosing Kaguya over me, and like that was
so good.
That was wonderful, because it wasn't, because sometimes Chica's chaos can just take things in an unexpected different direction,
right?
And that's great for sort of like the final punchline of the joke, right?
Where but it needs build up sometimes.
And here it wasn't taking it in a different direction. It was just like, here we're at these ridiculous levels, it couldn't possibly get crazier than this, and then Chica's like, you're choosing her over me, and suddenly, you know,
as something that was built up within the skit, within the joke. It made so much sense for her to say that in a way that didn't feel totally contrived.
Right.
So when she said it, you're just like, yes! And then everyone else, what? And the fact that they ended up resolving it and solving their way out of it really felt like a JoJo's kind of thing, of where there was no way they could solve this,
but they managed to solve it.
But they still did it.
And in this case, instead
your next line will be Kaguya.
Right. And in this case, instead of it being like some hyper-specific knowledge about physics or something like that, right? It's, our characters have grown.
Yes, and they are multidimensional characters, so these kinds of responses make so much sense. And I think that's why we had the Hayasaka bit before this skit, because Kaguya realized, hey, you can drop a lot more overt hints, and they're not going to actually be that overt, which means, Kaguya, that was a really good step for you to be like, just like any of your requests, the answer is it would be my pleasure. Which is something where he doesn't have to read into that there. But the fact that Kaguya got the practice saying that, that's so good for her. So it's just it's so good. I love it. I love it so much.
Well, and also the idea that, like, okay, now granted, Kaguya, with the way things have been going up till then, if Shirogane confessed to Kaguya in front of everybody, that would be something where she would be like, aha, yes, I have won, you know.
Right, but it wouldn't, or she would have been happy too with that, but it still would not have been the you know.
Well, and so the idea that he gave that, right, because he was acknowledging not just the fact that it would look bad on himself if everyone got excited and then it turned out to not be that, but also that it could look bad for Kaguya if she was thinking this is what it was, and then suddenly, no, it's not that, it's just, can you do this thing for me? So he does it in secret, he just whispers it to her, that way, like, I love that.
He wasn't just thinking of the election.
Exactly. So
great episode, wonderful stuff. I would say just some quality, like, rewatchable skits. Incredibly rewatchable. I think there are a lot of skits in this show that are definitely funny, but not all of them are incredibly rewatchable. Some of them are like, that's good fun to watch again. You're not going to, like, skip it or anything on a rewatch, but it's more like,
you wouldn't, like, go and, like, be like, where's the episode with that specific scene?
Right. You're going to maybe kind of laugh, you know, but you're not going to chuckle or gut laugh or anything like that. So this episode was just filled with that stuff and actually had a plot to it that was linear and concurrent across the whole thing. So Kaguya is just elevating more and more as a show, and my opinion of it is through the roof at this point.
Like, with the first season, it was something that I would definitely recommend to, say, a longtime anime fan if for some reason they hadn't seen it, and they were wanting, like, a good comedy, and they had watched, like, the other ones that I would recommend, you know?
But it would be one of your first, like, 5 comedy you'd recommend.
Yeah, right. But this is getting more into the territory where I would recommend it to people, even if they're not as familiar with anime. Like, a few anime, sure, but, like, because...
not their first anime, for sure.
Right, not their first anime, but because it's getting that good. Like,
it's getting that good,
Because the original premise is something where it really does kind of, like, demand
you to
know some of the tropes and stuff of, like, anime school rom-coms and all that stuff, right?
Totally.
And it's great. It's great for it. But this is getting to the point where it's like, nah... Even if you don't fully know some of the tropes they're making fun of and stuff, and the idea of them both being tsunderes, whatever that is, right?
Right. You'll still get a lot out of it.
You will love this show. Like, oh man,
it's fun to watch a show go from first season where it's really good to a second season where it's just better in every way.
Oh man,
and that says nothing negative about the first season.
Right. It's just
everything got dialed up a little bit.
Right. Or in some cases.
Like, a lot. Yeah.
So
I'm still reeling from the court scene. So, y'all, I'm so glad you got to this point at the end of the video, but thank you so much for watching our videos and discussions and stuff. I just gotta say, just doing this channel and doing these kinds of things and stuff, it is so much fun to discover anime.
Yeah.
But it is way more fun to kind of get these kinds of moments where the anime itself just kind of lights you up. It's just so exciting. So I hope you're experiencing that as well. If this is your first time watching the episode, that's awesome. If this is like your 5th time or whatever, like,
isn't it
we're
great?
watching a great show right now, y'all. So thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us and the community there about this show, about anime in general, and you can also talk with Jacob about the sci-fi novel that he wrote.
Yep, I love stories, and I wrote one. It's called Battle Lines. It's a sci-fi novel. It's really cool, not nearly as hilarious as this show, so just, take that.
Yeah.
But it's on Amazon if you want to get it. Link in the description down below.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.